What's good? It's your boy JayThat'sMe. Let's discuss NXT for August the 15th, 2023. A pretty decent show for the most part. So we kicked the show off with the family versus the dyad. So towards the end of the match, Ivy now comes down, and so one of the members of Schism took out the dyad, and that allowed for Tony D to retain the NXT Tag Team Championships, which was great. Really good shit there. So we know, I believe it was Julius who did the attack. So that's great. It makes sense. We're still continuing the dyad and Creed Brothers feud. So that's fine. Well, Schism and the Creed Brothers feud. Sorry. But that's fine. So, moving on. So we get an Eddie Thorpe vignette. So he's dancing in the woods, burning sage. Dancing to enhance his fighting spirit so he can beat Dijak. Okay, that's fine. No one really gives a shit, but, it's what it is. Moving on. So Carmelo Hayes is signing autographs backstage. When Wes Lee, he rolls up to complain. He hasn't returned his calls. So Wes Lee tells Carmelo to finish up because once he's beaten Dijak, the only thing Carmelo will have to sign is a contract for a title match. Okay. So Carmelo was doing this throughout the entire show, which was smart. So, moving on. So Andre Chase, he's talking with Duke Hudson about how Thea Hail got a match tonight to get her back on track and let her anger out. So Thea Hail rose up to complain that Andre Chase thinks that he knows best. Duke immediately turns the coin and takes the side of Thea Hail. Andre Chase says he wants Thea Hail just to be happy, and she tells him to not throw in the towel this time, and then she leaves. So this is fine. I definitely could see Thea Hail turning heel, which makes sense. It really does, if we're being honest. I think that's the best way to utilize Thea Hail, Moving on, Dana Brooke versus Blair Davenport. So, Blair wins via not one but two Kamigoye knee strikes for the 1, 2, 3. Makes sense there. So, that's fine. I mean, Dana Brooke is Dana Brooke. Who gives a shit? Dana Brooke's not gonna get any better. Now, my girl, Kalani Jordan, she can get better in due time, but not with Dana Brooke. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen at all. Moving on. So, Dijak rolls up on Carmelo Hayes. And he tells him he better be ready for him, that being Carmelo Hayes, because he's going to be the one to face Dijak. I despise Dijak. He can go fuck himself. I don't like Dijak. Dijak is boring. He is. He's very boring. Moving on, Drew Gulak versus Trick Williams. Pretty okay match. Charlie Dempsey and Damon Kemp, they got involved. But, ugh. Briggs and Jensen, they got involved. That's why I did that. I was like, ugh. So, Briggs and Jensen, they came out. They made the save. And I'm like, oh, no. Please don't do this shit. But Trick gets the win. So, this makes a lot of sense. So, post-match, Trick tells Ilya that he'll be dragging that ass next week. Pause, pal. But I can't wait for that. I think that match is going to bang. I think that's going to be really, really good. I do. I think they might end up stealing the show. So, Baron Corbin's up next. He talks about this new era is going to be put him back in the main event where he belongs. So, Robert Stone gets on the mic and says, everyone in the whole world disagrees with him. So, Baron Corbin tells him he's happy that Robert isn't dressing like a knockoff Happy Corbin. And Stone asks him if insulting people makes him feel good. Corbin knows he wants to get back at the top of this place, and he has qualifications. But there's one guy standing in his way. That guy's Von Wagner. So Corbin says he knows. He watches the show. Robert Stone says Von is just getting started. Baron Corbin asks if Von Wagner can talk and tells Stone to give him the mic, which he does. So Corbin immediately says that was a bad idea and explains to Von that you gotta learn to talk on the stick to make it in this business, which is 1000% true. Very solid ass promo by Baron Corbin. Corbin said use him for an example. The very first episode of SmackDown on Fox, which he stepped in the ring and went toe-to-toe with The Rock himself. He said that's what superstars do, and that's why he makes the big bucks, and why Von has a great future ahead of him as security. I laughed my ass off when Baron Corbin said that, which is true though. Like, if Von can't get himself over in this gimmick right here, with what he's doing right here, then I don't know what to even think. Like, he will be better off just being security or somebody's happy, if we're being honest. I could see him being like the Mrs. Heavy if Von was on the main roster. But he's not. So, Von Wagner says maybe he doesn't talk enough, but Baron talks too damn much. And it's the same soft story every week. Everyone's tired of it. Him, the crowd, everybody. So, Von Wagner says next week Baron Corbin can come out here with one of his lame gimmicks, but Von's moving up on the ladder and his ass is in the way. Pause. So next week he's got a reservation for one and a table for one. And Baron Corbin's bald-headed ass is going to get tabled. So Corbin then attacks Von Wagner, but Von Wagner gets the upper hand. He tries to powerbomb Corbin, but Corbin fights him off, and he dips out. So this is fine here, I guess. Again, you know, hopefully Corbin can do wonders with Von Wagner, but I doubt it. You know, I really doubt it. Again, Von has a great story, but really and truthfully, he doesn't need to get on the mic at all. He needs to have more of like a stoic type of presence and have Mr. Stone just talk for him completely. For real. Von Wagner, not a good promo. Not a good promo at all. I forgot to mention Baron Corbin talked about Gable Steveson, you know, and how he ran him off. I forgot to mention that. Moving on. So Rhea Ripley, she's backstage with Dominic Mysterio. So she addresses Lyra Valkyria and offers to show how it's done in a mixed tag match with Dragon Lee. And that should be fun right there. That should definitely be fun. Heat Wave seems to be fun. It seems like it's going to be a fun little TV show. Really fun little, show. I'm fine with it, to be honest. So we get a really cool vignette from Mustafa Ali where he's just making a campaign speech as to why he should be NXT North American champion. I dug it. I thought it kicked major ass. This is great. This is really good shit right here from Mustafa Ali. I believed every word that he said. And hopefully this is where Ali can become champion. It does make sense. So this leads us into Dijak versus Wes Lee. So Wes Lee wins. He's the new number one contender. Because Eddie Thorpe came down, got involved, and he distracted Dijak. So that feud continues. Oh joy. Not really. Oh man. I cannot stress to you guys how much I don't like Dijak. Dijak sucks. He sucks. Moving on. So, Lyra Valkyria is backstage. She's pacing when Dragon Lee rolls up and talks about the mixed tag they were challenged to by Rhea and Dom. So Lyra says they need this to be as tight together, and Rhea and Dom are. Dragon Lee says that he's taken, but Lyra says it's just that they need to be on the same page. So this is fine here. I don't know what's going to be the main event. It might be a co-main event where we could have Rhea and Dom versus Dragon Lee and Lyra Valkyria, and then Wes Lee versus Carmelo Hayes. So I think we'll have a co-main event next week, and I'm fine with that. So Tyler Bate, he's backstage. So he says that he's learned to never react to an angry person ever, even if you think they deserve it. And he won't let Joe Coffey's anger become his own, and perhaps he can send him a one-way trip to find it. Okay, I'm fine, but I still don't like this new age spirituality gimmick that Tyler's in, but he's been doing that for years. It's kind of like what Max Sydal was doing in Impact and Ring of Honor when he was down there. This was what, I think 2017 and 2018 he was doing that gimmick. So it is what it is, but Tyler Bate, man, he is somebody who needs to turn heel. Turn Tyler Bate heel. Please, Shawn Michaels. Please, bruh. Turn him heel. So, we get a really kick-ass promo from Ilya Dragunov. He's talking about bringing a raging fire to his fight against Trick next week. So, I'm definitely excited for that. Can't wait. That's going to kick major ass. Moving on, so we see Wes Lee collecting the contract for his title match next week. Then this leads us into Joe Coffey versus Tyler Bate. This is a no contest. Dabba-Kato, oh my god. He comes up. He takes out both Joe Coffey and Tyler Bate. So Joe Coffey is able to be saved by Gallus, but Tyler Bates comes to the choke bomb. Oh my God. Dabba-Kato is a boring sack of shit. Him and Dijak can fuck off. So Baron Corbin is in the parking lot being interviewed, and thankfully he didn't get hurt, he didn't get harmed, because the NXT parking lot is dangerous as shit. So Corbin says, how is it? And if somebody gets offended, that's their problem. But at least Von Wagner had the decency to say something to his face. So Von Wagner, he comes up. I mean, my bad. My bad. Holy shit, my bad. Bron Breakker, he comes in, he complains. He's not done with Von Wagner. So Baron Corbin says he looked pretty finished when he got put through a table last week. And Bron says he'll be watching next week. Corbin says he's not intimidated by Bron Breakker, and he walks away. Interesting. So I guarantee you, Bron is going to come down, get involved. It's going to be a no contest, and we're probably going to feud Bron and Corbin. I think that could be great. That could be very, very good if done right. But only problem is Bron is a heel. I don't know. But Bron has to do something. He's got to do something, because him and Von Wagner, that ain't going nowhere. Personally, I'm ready for Bron to go to the main roster. I'm not going to hold you up. I'm ready to go to the main roster. I am. Moving on, we get a hard-hitting home troops segment by Nathan Frazer. So Nathan Frazer talks about his Heritage Cup maneuverings. So metaphor, they cut in. So Nathan Frazer says that he's prepared for this. Noam Dar says that he's still the champion. He doubts the question of whether his cup is real or not. So Nathan Frazer reveals a fraud alarm he can hit every time Noam Dar lies. So Noam Dar immediately starts lying, refuses to stop. So Nathan hits the button over and over again. Noam Dar says he'll see him at Heatwave next week. And I guess the match is going to be official. So that's fine here. Again, kind of funny when Nathan Frazer was hitting the fraud button. But it makes sense. But we don't really need a whole bunch of talk shows in WWE. We already got Miz TV. We have the Grayson Waller effect. And now we have Supernova Sessions, as well as the hard-hitting home troops. We don't need that. We only need 2 shows, Grayson Waller Effect and Miz TV. Right? We even have the Kevin Owens show. Like, no. We don't need that. TV main event, wrestling-wise, Jacy Jayne versus Thea Hail. So, basically, Andre Chase just tried to pump up Thea Hail, but it didn't work, so she succumbed to a roll-up by Jacy Jayne. And Thea Hail was extremely pissed off at Andre Chase. So again, we are slowly but surely getting a heel turn from Thea Hail, and I do like this. This is great. She needs this. Thea Hail definitely needs this. So this could work out. This could be good. We got a Humberto Garza video package. So where he talks about his grandchildren, Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza, what they meant to him, and his words of wisdom. So this is great. I absolutely love this. This is tremendous. Again, I want nothing but the best for Humberto and Angel. I'm being serious. They could be something. They really could be. They need to be in an actual feud with the family, that being Tony D and Stacks. Even though they just got the titles, they need to be in a feud with them ASAP. Like whenever they get done with the schism, which they are done with, we need Humberto and Angel Garza to feud with the family. I think that would be fucking tremendous television right there. Moving on. So, Wes Lee, he returns to Carmelo with a contract for him to sign. Carmelo congratulates him and says he'll see him next Tuesday. So Wes Lee's angry. He clears the table and says he's not waiting, and he'll see him out there. So Tiffany Stratton, we get a hype reel from Tiffany Stratton. She promises that she'll see us next week at Heatwave, and then she says toodles. So okay, that's cool. I can dig it. I love my girl. I love Tiffany Stratton. Great stuff. So, Wesley is out there with the table that he dragged away from Carmelo's autograph signing. So, Wesley wants Carmelo to sign the most important thing he's gonna sign all day, that being the contract. So, Melo says that he's real close to turning him back into the old him, and Wesley better chill. So Wesley says he doesn't know what that means, but he doesn't know anything about his jet-setting champagne life, or champagne, as some people say, champagne. So Carmelo says everybody thinks he holds the title. It's luxurious, and yeah, it comes with perks, but also responsibilities. Carmelo says that Wes Lee is one of the greatest North American champions, and he carried that title with prestige and responsibility. But until he's walked in his golden studded loafers, Wes Lee can't talk to him about how easy he has it. So he says Wes Lee folds easier than a chair on the Alabama boardwalk. I laughed my ass when he said that. That was funny as fuck. He said next week is his shot for the title, but he's not convinced he can beat him. So Wesley says what makes him think he wants to beat him, and talks about how he can't achieve things in his career. He mentioned back in the military, his supervisors thought that he was crazy for wanting to be a wrestler, and told him that he couldn't. Fast forward a couple of years, he's trying to get into the WWE, and here again, the doubters saying you can't. But damn it, he said a shot and won the tag titles twice. He lost his tag partner, and it started again. Wesley said, Wes, you can't do this, Wes, you can't do that. But Wes did it. He became the North American champion, the greatest ever. Nobody had that on their bingo card. As a matter of fact, who did he win the title from? So Carmelo said that he won the title, but he didn't beat him for it. That's just the truth. It's the same title he got the most eyes on until Melo put it on the map with bangers for months across 2 lanes. But this isn't about that title. It's about the NXT championship that he holds. And although he agrees 90% of what Wes Lee says, next week at Heatwave, Wes Lee can't beat him. So Wes Lee tells him, there he goes with the can'ts, and he's turned the doubters into believers, and again, he's his biggest own doubter. He's his own biggest doubter, but no more. He will not fail. So Wes Lee signs the contract, tells Carmelo to do the same. Carmelo obliges, because everybody knows Wes Lee earned this, But he says, don't go chasing waterfalls because next week it's Melo don't miss. It's Melo can't miss. So he signs the contract, holds the title on Wes Lee's face. Wes Lee jumps to the table and says he'll see him at Heatwave. And then the two stare each other down, and they have some words, and then we go up the air. So, that's fine, I guess, I'm okay with that. I'm just trying to think if they're going to main event with this, I think they will. And Wes Lee has got to turn heel. He's got to. On Impact, they turned the Rascals heel, I want to say about 3-4 weeks ago. So, Wes Lee more than likely is going to turn heel. It makes the most sense. NXT was decent for the most part. I enjoyed it. Jaganoff and Trick Williams for next week. That's going to kick ass. Corbin and Von Wagner. That's going to be a disaster, but Bron Breakker's going to get involved in that. So that should be interesting to see where that goes. Melo and Wes Lee should be okay. Hopefully we see Wes Lee turn heel. Nathan Frazer and Nathan Frazer and Noam Dar should be okay. Noam Dar probably is going to win the mixed tag with Rhea and Dom versus Dragon Lee and Lyra Valkyria should be okay. So next week, Heatwave should be a pretty decent show. But what did you guys think about NXT? Let me know. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.